Welcome to the Fantasy Banter podcast for the AFL Fantasy Chat. I am your host, Angus, and I'm here with
Andrew, coach of the Logan Bogans, and we are flying this week.
But I am not flying. I have got my green vest punishment. Shout out to Cal, the GOAT.
How good is that? Honestly, you should make that your official podcast uniform every single
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this is the last time I lose ever again.
Yeah.
So I hope I don't get no more green vests.
Don't worry, when my team stops flying, I'll make sure that I wear my copy of my
Yeah, when mine stops
well.
plummeting to the absolute bottom of the earth.
But round 6 is concluded, and me personally, I'm looking pretty good at the moment. I don't know about yourself, Gooch.
I don't want to talk about it, but I'll get into it shortly. Well, you're on a high right now. So how about you start with us? How did you actually go this week?
All right, here we go. So as you guys might know, last week I finished on 1,904th. This week I managed to score 2,156. I moved up 903 ranks and I am now ranked 1,001st, which leaves me 2 spots outside the top 1,000.
For the first time, a triple-digit rank.
It is a personal best for me.
Yeah.
In 9 years of fantasy, my highest is 1,100th, and I've managed to hit 1,001st.
Love it.
Yeah, feels good. And besides from the exception of Bont and a couple others, we are looking really good moving into this week.
I like it. All right, I'll go for mine. So unfortunately, I scored 1914 this week, which made me drop 10,248 spots, which puts me in an overall of 15,900. Absolutely disgusting.
The wheels have fallen off at Gucci Wucci.
It took 2 weeks and everything has come undone. All this hard work from the start of the year has come undone, but that's just part of the game of life. We'll keep rolling.
You had Myers on the bench too, didn't you?
Myers on bench, Dawson on bench.
Yeah.
Had to trade out Zorko, so...
Damn, that's a really shame. But hey, look, each week is a new week.
Yeah.
And we just take little small steps towards the car.
Yep, take the losses, I'll cop them, and then just keep riding with it. You know, I want to win the overall league anyway, so...
It's really good to dream. It is really good to dream. I'm living that dream at the moment, and not to shoot myself in the foot, but we should be ranked inside the top 1,000 next week.
I'll have to see it happen. We'll see how they go. We'll see how your trades pan out.
Let's see how we go.
I will go into my trades from last week. So last week I traded out Dane Zorko and Connor Buderick, and then I bought in Cozzy Pickett and Nick Newman. So Newman,
good and
absolute. You copped that 101, like 80 at halftime. I'm not complaining at all from that.
80 from Cozzy though.
80 from Cozzy overall was really disappointing. I could have gone Petrarca or Cozzy. I went with the Cozzy move because it was Petrarca's first game back, but Cozzy's got an easy matchup this week with Richmond, so I was kind of holding out for that.
Petrarca does have a harder run coming up as well. Yeah. He has Hawks this week, which is not ideal. No. We know how good our boys are, especially at UTAS.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But I'll tell you what, I think Cozzy will bounce back. Nick Newman is going to be a really popular player over the next week or so.
He's priced at 80 and he scored his price at...
Well, he actually scored that in a half.
In a half, so
yeah.
He should have scored 160 in that game, because whatever they're scoring at half time, if it's a good score, you double it. If it's a bad score, you
works for Archie Roberts.
Well, that's how
so I can't work for Nick Newman and everyone else. Bonds, I was waiting for that to update. I thought it was only 10 minutes into the game.
But do you want to go into what your trades were this week?
Yeah, why not? So my trade-ins from last week were Petrarca and Hannaford. Hannaford's not the best, but I'll tell you what, he was the best of the rest in terms of the forward rookies this week. And my 2 outs were Buderick and Dev Rob, and that went with $0 in the salary cap left over. Petrarca was good. 25 disposals and 3 goals. I even called it, but I thought for sure that would have been a 120, at least a 110.
What was it? Did he just not have the
97?
Marks? Did he not have the marks? Did he not have the...
I'm not too sure. I think it was a lack of tackles.
Lack of tackles.
Yeah, I think it was that lack of tackles. Obviously still that first game back from his calf injury is probably going to be a little bit restricted, but I think he should be good to go for the next few weeks. Yeah. Obviously tougher matchups, but I think he's going to build into his fitness a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be talking about him in a little bit with my trade plans coming up. Did you cop any bullets this week? Did anything happen with you?
Yes. Well, maybe. Bont.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's going to happen to Marcus Bontempelli? Because I'm really interested because it may affect my trades for this week.
Well, there's no news really out at the moment, is there? So
no. Well, I did hear something from Luke Beveridge earlier today, and he was saying that they will not risk Bont.
Yeah,
they said if he is not good to go, even if it is minor, they're not going to risk him, and they will not play him. So, honestly, I'm still happy to hold. I do not think he'll ever score something that low again.
No.
So, I would highly advise holding. He doesn't even face Geelong the rest of this year, so it's not like I'm holding him and he's going to cop it again. It's done now. So
does he have the James Jordan tag coming up though?
He does, but do you think with Jordan, Ed Richards is going to be more taggable for him? I think Oisin Mullin, in terms of his height and size, would be a better matchup suited for Bonds.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, whereas with Jordan, he's a little fucker, isn't he? He's a little guy.
I don't think he's anywhere near as big as Oisin.
No, I don't think so, and I don't think that's the matchup. But I think they'll still roll with it, which will be really interesting, especially because Bont is a potential laid out. I wonder why they would maybe push for that.
6-day turnaround, I think. They're playing on the Thursday against the Swannies.
6-day turnarounds, but if anyone can get up, it could be Bont.
And he could pop a 130.
He very well could. People are going to get Bont very cheap, which is disappointing.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I think the negative with trading him out is going to be you're probably going to have to bring him back in at some point.
Absolutely.
Which is technically a wasted trade. But if you're confident that he's not going to get up, then you could look at it. And I think we'd need to wait for more news.
Yeah, I think so as well. All right, we're going to move on to our fantasy Brownlow. So, I would like to tell you, with my +1 this week, Archie Roberts with his 117. He is keeping everything going in that back line. My +2, Zach Butters with his 125. It was a tough matchup against the Hawks. People didn't expect a whole lot for him.
So did the Hornbag.
Got it done. And the Hornbag got it done too. And my +3 goes to Harry Sheasel for his 136. Did everything as he should have. Absolutely legend. And then my top 3 for my Brownlow at the moment, Archie Roberts is sitting in first with 4 votes. Harry Sheasel is in second place with his 3 votes. And then I have a tie for third place with Zach Butters and Joshua Shelley, both tied on 2 votes.
Ooh, very interesting leaderboard there, Gucci.
Yeah, Archie Roberts is doing a whole lot for me. And then, obviously, it's only the second round. So if you're getting votes in the top 3, you're going to be in the leaderboard at the moment.
And Harry Sheasel still got the 3 votes after not taking the VC last week. Angus.
Yep, I would like to blame you for that one. If you listen to the podcast, we made a deal.
I'm so sorry.
If Harry Sheasel was on 65 at halftime, I would take the VC. If he was under that, I wouldn't take it. I would roll into Gorn. He was on 55 at halftime, and I said, you know what, I'm going to back my boy Julie over here and roll into Max Gorn.
85 points and a half. That's a pretty solid effort from the
I know all about it. I was checking the score every 2 minutes, and he was dominating.
Look, I would like to apologise, but in saying that, I did think Gorn would go a bit better. He did have the dinner plates out, and it turned out he hadn't taken a mark for that entire game.
Considering that Darcy Fort was a late out as well, he literally solo rucked.
Against Sam Draper.
ZZ Top had less than 50% game time.
It's like 30%. I think he played less than a third of a game.
Yeah, and then, so Sam Draper apparently is one of the toughest rucks to score against, it looks like.
Well, look, I'd like to apologise on that front, but hey, I will make up for it this week because I will be looking at captaining Gorn.
All right, I like to hear it. All right, let's get into your Brownlow now.
All right. The 1 vote goes to Phoenix Gothard with his 99. It was just an amazing effort from a rookie.
Kiss, mate. Kiss
against
on
one of the most restrictive teams for forwards to score against nonetheless. 2 snags, multiple disposals, and hit a 99. I was very impressed with that as my F6. 2 votes goes to Bailey Smith with his 145. Again, just another week for Bailey Smith, I think, and he's only going to get better as the season progresses, and he is arguably, if not just the #1 fantasy player for the year, period. And 3 votes goes to my boy, Tom McCarthy, for posting up his first ton of the year. 113 against Fremantle with 28 disposals.
We were talking about him last week as well, being a bit of a disappointment, and he has
rocketed
up your leaderboard as well. What is your top 3 looking like?
My top 3 are Bailey Smith with 5 votes, followed by Tom McCarthy with 3, and Tanner Bruin takes it out 3rd spot with 2 votes.
So we both have Tanner Bruin in... Oh, we don't have Tanner Bruin. I don't have him, but...
I think he's 4th for you.
Yeah, he is 4th for me with 1 vote from last week.
But very solid effort from our boys, and I'm pretty sure for Tom McCarthy's case, that's his 2nd week in a row of 28 disposals. So something to watch there. Seems to be a good role switch with Andrew McWalter with a nice healthy split of midfield and kick out
And
time.
it seems like Bailey Smith is going to be in your top 3 every single week.
Every week.
Yeah, I feel like.
I feel like we barely need a leaderboard for my point. I think he'll just take out number 1 spot. Let's just lock it in now.
Yeah, may as well. All right, let's move on to the Spud Farm. So, my -3 this week is Josh Rochelle, 67. Disappointing. Talked him up last week, and he
didn't deliver.
He didn't deliver at all.
Didn't deliver. Last quarter, didn't score much at all.
No, nothing. The game on the line, didn't touch the ball. My -2 is Leo Lombard. He has to go. He is bleeding cash now. He has to go. And my -1, somebody else bleeding cash, Caleb Windsor with his 48. His break-even is in the 70s now. He is going to keep bleeding cash, and I can't believe I've held him for this long.
And it's really hard to believe, but he's actually lost money since the start of the year, which is not ideal at all. Yeah, definitely one that is top priority for a trade out,
Absolutely,
I reckon.
he is, yeah. I'm going to be holding my injured rookies and getting rid of him instead.
Nah, that's a smart call. All right, I want to take out some frustration here.
Yeah, hit it.
3 votes for the Spud Farm goes to Marcus Bontempelli. 28 points. 86% game time.
Yeah, so did he actually get injured or not?
He got injured. So third quarter, he hyperextended his knee. I was
Yeah.
watching the replay on that, and it did not look good. He was running around with a peg leg,
Yeah, okay.
which is not ideal for your M4. And yeah, 28 points. He had 14 disposals, but Oisin Mullin crushed Bont's spirit so much that he didn't even bother trying to lay a tackle or even attempt to call for a mark. And even when he did call for the ball, it just seemed like he was getting ignored most of the time just because Oisin Mullin was hot on his tail. I think Oisin Mullin can be crowned the Grim Reaper of the AFL.
I think so.
officially.
He has done a few jobs at the moment. And
Yeah.
who's your -2?
-2 goes to Lockie Blackiston with his 39, and he finally goes for me this week, just as a little sneak peek into my trades. I cannot stand to look at his head anymore, and that top knot. See you later. And my -1 goes to Leo Lombard for his 31. I cannot get rid of him because I do not believe there's anyone else that I can potentially go for in that spot, so I'm just going to let him rot for now. I think Blackiston's a higher priority, but Leo Lombard is still no good. He has not hit a score above 50 in a very, very long time.
No, since that opening round score, I believe.
Yeah,
Opening
which
round 1.
is not good at all.
But I agree. There are no rookies in the forward line at the moment that are even worth touching. There's
Surely one shows up.
Yeah, there has to be one. We'll
Surely.
have to shop at one point. I wish Milan Murdoch played one more game.
He,
but that
he only
forward
needed
side,
one more.
That was it.
No good. All right, well, let's run through the games of
Let's
the
run
round, shall
through it.
we?
So, for the beginning of round 6, we had that interesting Carlton and Collingwood game, which a whole lot happened in. We don't really need to get into that at the moment, but
I think we can start with the top, and that's Nick Dacos.
yeah.
What a fourth quarter effort from that bloke. He was my VC, and he was only on about 81 at 3/4 time, so not awful, but not necessarily a great VC option. Didn't seem like he was right from that calf, and then all of a sudden, game's on the line, something just clicked, and he had 8 disposals in
A few minutes, wasn't it?
3
It
minutes.
was like nothing. The fact that Michael Voss did not tag this bloke when the game is on the line.
Who could they tag? That both of their taggers
I know,
are in
Ben
the VFL
Dwyer.
at the moment.
You-
Cooper Lord and George Hewitt.
You've got to do something there. You've got to at least put someone on him. Nick Dacos should be tagged every single week without a doubt.
Yeah, you'd think so, but then Bailey Smith is kind of just let off the hook as well, somewhat.
I personally think Nick Dacos is more damaging than Bailey Smith.
Yeah, that is true.
With
Bailey
goals-
Smith gets his touches, but yeah, Nick Dacos definitely does a little bit more with it.
Around the ground.
Yeah, he wants that Brownlow.
He wants that Brownlow. I don't blame him. He should almost have 3 at this point, but
Maybe that calf, one game will cost him one
let's see.
vote.
That'd be so funny. All right, let's go on to Dan Houston. I don't own Houston. He's been
Yes,
so. You have him.
he's
though.
been great. 110 for me. I had him for his 59 as well,
He's
which
been
was
a bit of a
disappointing.
roller coaster. It's like he'll hit a high of 100 and then drop back down quickly.
It
and
does.
back up, down.
It does seem that way. It's really bizarre how he does fade out of games, and I'm not really too sure why. He's still one of the main kick-out takers
Yeah.
for Collingwood. 110 in a game though, 25 disposals, and he had 12
Yeah,
marks.
12 marks helps a lot.
That's really, really nice to see. Against Carlton as well, and hopefully over the next few weeks he learns to be a little bit more consistent. But well done, 110.
Yeah,
you
you
beauty.
take that every day of the week. Nick Newman, he's going to be a massive trade-in target we spoke about. 101 on 80 at halftime. I didn't see what happened in the second half. I don't know how he only scored 21 more
It was
points.
really interesting because I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah.
I was watching the entire game and it seemed like a very fruitful role.
Yeah.
Carlton's players were looking for him, and he didn't really see too much of it in that second half.
You're still going to take 101 every day of the week.
Hit a ton.
The fact that he can
under
score
800K.
80, the fact that he can score 80 and a half, he is going to be in one of those top trade targets for sure.
Is he going to be like Colby McKercher though?
I know,
in the sense of he might fade out of games, and he's not necessarily that top dog because of that ability to fade out.
Could be.
Because that's my only thing with my trades. So one of my trade options was going to be one of the rookies of Jake's or Jai Sarong or one of them up to Nick Newman and get a rookie off my ground. But just the way that I was watching that game, he looked amazing in that first half. But I really don't like when players fade out. I mean, look at the names like Colby, Jai Caldwell, and now Nick Newman as well. I know it's only the one game, but it's a little concerning. He had a 70 against Adelaide as well when a lot of other halfbacks were dominating as well, which is, again, a touch concerning. Got to remember he plays for Carlton too.
Yeah, I know. The fact that he plays for Carlton is shocking. But I heard a stat that Carlton have won the most quarters in the AFL or something. I don't know how true that is.
How do you win the most quarters
and
win the least amount of games as well?
They have won 0 fourth quarters.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
It's unbelievable.
What did Sam Walsh say? You have to run through the banner twice. I think that's very true because they are looking pretty shocking at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely they are.
How long until Voss gets the arse, you reckon?
I reckon before the bye, halfway through the year. Everything that's going on at Carlton is... They are in shambles at the moment.
I think this is the most we're ever going to talk about Carlton on this podcast in one go, but do we reckon that with Voss going out, potentially Carlton's going to even play any better? Do we feel the team is the problem?
No, I don't. I don't think Michael Voss is the problem. I think the team is the problem.
I think so as well.
They just don't have the players they need. They are so contested heavy. Contested everything. No one out on the...
No one can run very well. Their main runner is Ollie Hollins, and he's usually just getting his Strava up and not actually getting touches, which is not ideal.
Yeah, they don't have elite kicks in their team, which makes it hard because they're getting touches and whatnot, but it's going nowhere. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, so the reason I ask about this is because I'm kind of just developing a rule with my team at the moment, especially with how I am tracking. I don't really necessarily want to pick players from bad teams because of that ability to just go missing for random periods, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that. With those players that do fade out of those games, they do come from bad teams. So I think it's really important to note that. But 101 from Nick Newman, he's definitely underpriced, and I mean he's the same price as what he was when everyone was hot on him in the preseason.
Absolutely.
So great pick.
Anyone else in this game interesting to talk about? Angus Anderson, 78. Jump on him.
He'll be my trade in.
Yeah, same with me. He's my trade in this week as well.
This is the last week to get him. His break even is -30. So good luck chasing that next week.
Absolutely.
I think that's pretty much it. Jagger 64 is disappointing. He's on the block.
He is on the block, absolutely. His break even is 55. I think he's averaging around 59, 60 of the past 3 games now anyway.
It's not fully his fault. One mark is shit from him. However, Voss is just moving him to half forward. He's not giving him the CBAs that are necessary for him to score. Like, you look at the scores where he had bulk CBAs, they were all above 80. And now he's been moved half forward, no impact, and Carlton aren't any better.
No, it's not his fault, but...
I think in the position that Carlton are in, I just don't understand why they just don't run with it.
him.
Look how well Willem Dersman's doing and all those guys. So, even Phoenix Gothard now. But yes, no good. And just want to make one last note as well, without being too sensitive on the subject, but Elijah Hollins and his one disposal, that's been a huge talking point throughout the entire week. I do see memes of Elijah Hollins, and I think if you're still laughing at that, you are a dog. We desperately need a men's mental health round.
Absolutely do.
Crying out for it.
100% agree with what Bailey Smith said. He said it perfectly. Get a men's mental health round out there.
It is desperately needed, and I hope Elijah bounces back. Whether it's AFL or otherwise, I hope he does bounce back.
All right, let's move on to our next game now, which was the Geelong and Bulldogs
You can
game.
start this one. I don't want to talk about this one yet.
Just an absolute flogging from the Cats.
Yeah, led by Oisin Mullin and his clamping of Bontempelli. 28. Can we bring up Bont one sec? Because I'm kind of just thinking I just want to rip the Band-Aid off now.
He
28.
Was the 5th lowest scoring player on the ground.
That is...
Darcy did his ACL and only scored 5 points less than him.
That's disgusting. Something as well, that's Marcus Bontempelli's worst rated game of football since COVID year. So since 6 years, yeah. So it's been 6 years since he's had a game that is that bad and unimpactful. 14 disposals, which, I mean, sounds like a normal tagged game, but 0 other stat lines. He just really did nothing else.
Did not have an impact.
Had his influence quelled, so I'm really hoping that he does bounce back if he's playing. We'll have to wait and see on that, but yeah, definitely not happy with Bont. He is on thin ice.
Absolutely.
We need a bounce back next week.
Bailey Smith, 145, spoken about it.
It makes up for it.
He is too expensive for anyone to touch at this point, I believe. He would be creeping up to that 1.25 mil.
In the last 5 weeks, he's averaged 140.
Yeah, like...
He's unders. He is unders. He is going to be the first fantasy player to be priced over $1.3 million.
No, absolutely, he will be, but do you think he can keep it up for the whole year?
Yes. Well, at this rate, yeah. I mean, they seem to want to tag Holmes over Bailey Smith a lot of the time. I know Holmes is kind of shifting down back a lot now, but they just don't seem to want to tag him. And anyone that does tag Bailey Smith, they're just not good enough to keep up with him. He's just such a good runner, and his
running effort is
he is hungry. I've never seen a hungrier player besides from Nick Dacos. Those two are like two of the must-haves in your midfield. You just sleep so much easier owning them. So Bailey Smith, well done, and he is so expensive.
Yeah, but like he is someone that I will not be touching until I'm praying that he drops a poor score.
What if he doesn't?
But then
he had 2 scores under 100 last year alone, and that was it.
I'll just have to wait until I can actually until I fully upgraded my team and then jump on like another premium to jump on top of
if you've been cashed up the whole time through these bullet times, copping all these bullets of Zorko, Budrick, Dev Rob, and others that I know are injured as well, Myers now as well, but if you're in that position where you finally don't have any forced trades and you've been sitting on that absolute kennel of money, I would just spend up on Bailey Smith and put him at M1 for the rest of the year.
Jump on it and then just leave him there for the rest of the year. Don't touch him.
100%. Max Holmes under 100.
Yeah, again, he just seems to be the one that, as you said, that the teams are wanting to target at the moment. I don't know if they're finding him more damaging.
He's shifting off half back, and when he goes to half back, he obviously racks the touches, but he doesn't seem to tackle as much because he is that rebounding halfback. He's kind of just doing the kick-outs and just being the handball receive guy, and he's not really going for the contested footy as much as Bailey Smith, who had, I think, like 7 tackles in comparison. So that's the difference between owning Holmes and Bailey Smith. It's S tier versus A tier.
It's an extra 30 points because he's getting those almost extra 10 tackles a week, like on average.
He was only 100k more than Max Holmes when I jumped on Bailey Smith, and now that I think they're actually over 200k apart. So it's been a huge shift in value, and Max Holmes is going to be good.
He'll be close to top 8.
He'll be close to top 8
at the end of the year.
I think he'll be battling out with Jack Steele for that top 8 spot.
Like that,
Sean Manor had a bounce back as well, 80 points. If anyone was looking there for a forward,
Riley Sanders as well, 79. He was quite popular from a lot of people in their teams. He's leading coming second in the AFL for handballs at the moment. So he is around the ball. He's playing a lot of midfield time at least, but that's because the Bulldogs have had injuries, like Ed Richards being out randomly.
Liberatore's still out now.
He's still out now. The Bont going down would have helped Riley Sanders a bit there as well.
He's had 25 disposals, which is kind of a red flag in the sense of he had 25 touches and still couldn't manage 80 points. That's the only concerning thing with Sanders there. I think we said last podcast, he's a great player, and he's playing off half forward, moving into the midfield.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's not started. He's not getting those CBAs straight away. He's coming in and getting those quick handballs out to the outside players the Bulldogs have.
Yeah,
and they are lapping it up like Ed Richards is lapping it up at the moment.
He seems to be a Murphy Reed type role player.
Yeah.
In the sense of he goes at half forward and pushes up into the middle. Milan Murdoch's a good example of that as well. Yeah. He seems to be doing it really well, and out of the picks of Joel Frazier and Riley Sanders, he was definitely the best one there.
To go for. Tanner Bruin, 77. Most teams still have him. You're going to cop that. It's whatever. It's getting close to his time.
He was not good early. He was not good early. At quarter time, I believe it was on -1.
Really?
I was watching that. I was watching it closely because I was watching how Bont's score just was not moving for long periods of time. But Tanner Bruin, he was really slow, and I did not like how he just wasn't involved, especially in a smashing.
That. Yeah, well, it
that was a little bit
really
concerning.
Picked up in the 3/4.
Which is what you like. He is still a mid-pricer, you got to remember. Like, I know he's
Break-even
scored a 120.
Break even at 53 as well, still low. If he's still scoring in that 80 to 90 range, he's still going to make a bit of money for the next couple of weeks. But keep an eye out. Here's someone that you could do a downgrade and upgrade Tanner Bruin to a Bailey Smith type.
I have thought about going early because Tanner Bruin has Port Adelaide Oval, which is not an awesome matchup.
Yeah, it's not the hardest.
If it was at GMHBA, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But I do know Geelong loves smashing Port Adelaide around, but I'm just slightly concerned because Port Adelaide nearly beat our boys
that was
last
crazy.
week, and they actually played really well. Zach Butters will have nowhere near as much influence this week. He's going to get clamped this week.
But Port aren't the team that they used to be. They have a different game style.
That is true.
I feel like Tanner will still be fine. He'll still score in the 80s, I feel like, but I'm not seeing a 120, 115 from Tanner.
Next 4 weeks, moving into his mid-season bye, that's probably when we
That is upgrade season for Tanner Bruin, and that's when you can use him to upgrade to that Nick Dacos
or Bailey Smith
type and actually use all that cash he's made for it.
Cat for cat. Tom Stewart, 63, again disappointing. I just want to repeat from last podcast, he is not fantasy relevant anymore.
No, he is.
We do not touch him. His role is not what it was. They love shifting him and moving him into lockdown roles. Do not touch Tom Stewart.
Stay away from him.
Lockie Jakes. Now, I benched him and looped.
I fielded him. I thought with Connor Buderick out, he was going to have this new role, kick out, or at least receiving the kick out and getting those cheeky +6.
Guess what happened to him? He got bevoed. He got moved forward.
Yeah, I saw that on his heat map. He was forward like almost the majority of the game.
At the fact he still managed 46 in a forward role is okay, but you did not pay nearly... you didn't pay too much for him. He started at basement, but with that new role and the fact that he's capping out in price now, his break-even's creeping up, you can pretty much flick Jakes.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all those popular rookies, he's almost the first one to go.
Yeah, he's absolutely almost the first one to go because he's going to start bleeding cash up this week, especially if he's still playing forward.
Yeah, 100%. Bond's not great, and Sam Darcy, poor
prayers
guy.
Up to that guy. He is a superstar of the comp. If I could have one player playing for the Hawks right now, I'd have to take Sam Darcy, I reckon. He's just a unicorn of the comp. Like,
do you want to know a really eerie stat on Sam Darcy's injury?
I saw this one. Tell me.
Luke Darcy, Sam Darcy's father, ruptured his ACL in a season of AFL in round 6 against Geelong.
At GMHBA.
And his son has just done the exact same injury in the same round against the same opponent at the same ground.
Disgusting.
Very strange.
I know, it is.
But very sad. Obviously a family curse.
Yeah, prayers up to Sam Darcy because he's an absolute star of the comp.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back strong.
But he might be a little bit cheaper for us next year when he comes in midway through.
He definitely could. He definitely could be the option.
We'll see. There. I don't want to talk about this Brody Grundy guy because he should be in my team right now.
Okay. Just a little insight into my trades. He is going to be one of my ins this week. I think it is time that we all jump on Brody Grundy. 130, and that's his third one in a row now.
I know, the Rock Pig. He's back.
He is well and truly back.
What was the game? Was it against Brisbane when he got a smack to the face and he scored that 57?
Yes. I was keeping an eye on this because a lot of people just thought and just saw that 50 and went, he's shit. He's not scoring the way he is. That's not the pig that we know.
Yeah.
And they've either flicked him or they've just not even thought about bringing him in and Gawn was the option. Even though he is, I still believe he is.
Yeah.
Grundy is definitely the option now, considering his break-even is sitting at 63.
Yeah, he's just going to skyrocket.
He's going to
be more expensive than Gawn in the next month.
He's also going to be in my top 5 captains this week, so keep an ear out. But 130 again, 27 disposals. That's 3 games in a row above 20 touches. Well done, Brody Grundy, and welcome to my team.
He just beat up on Nick Madden, didn't he? Lockie Ash and Lockie Whitfield, similar players, similar scores.
Lockie Whitfield's underwhelming, to say the least. Just a low 100, just another one.
Every week.
It is against Sydney, so there's that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has been a little bit underwhelming. But I mean, 3 tons on the trot, you still take that.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting for a ceiling score though.
Yeah, you're something big from him. You've already spoken about Phoenix Gothard.
How good is he?
Absolutely kissed on the lips, man.
He is one that everybody missed. I think he's 14% on.
Yeah, he is. I don't have him in my team. He's one of the only forward rookies. So
Brendan is trading him in this week.
Trading him in.
He's trading him in. He's getting him in for Dev Rob, who he had to hold.
Yeah.
Yep. So I actually think that's a great option. I know a lot of people have missed the boat, but if that's an F6 scoring you close to hundreds against tough teams, that's a nice little pick, and I highly recommend considering I'm an owner.
Speaking about forward, Justin McInerney.
He was the pick. I said this last week.
He is going to be pushing at least the top 8 for the forward at the moment. I think he's already in the top 8 for average right now, but...
Just want to confirm, Justin McInerney is definitely better than Chad Warner in the sense of fantasy this year. He has just been unbelievable. 26 touches and another 2 goals.
And yeah, another 2 goals. Absolutely beautiful.
Another 2 goals.
Man. I still believe Chad Warner is going to be a top 8 forward. His CBAs are creeping back up to where they really should be. Chad Warner is one of the best midfielders in the comp.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah,
I will give him that. I just personally would not go there in the fantasy sense because, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that he scored a 40.
Yeah.
And that was a fairly easy team as well. So I'm not a huge fan personally.
But I do see him having a pop score soon and we'll be jumping on him at a relatively cheap price.
And that's fair enough.
We spoke about Finn Callahan. Stay away from him in this game. He got absolutely clamped by James Jordan.
75. That's Bond's future right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for him. He still had 26 touches, but it was just the no marks, 3 tackles.
No marks, but I mean, you can't expect a mark when you got a guy so far up your ass the whole game.
Following you
it's
everywhere.
Very uncomfortable. And I think he will definitely bounce back. He's still an option for me when I do eventually downgrade McAndrew.
Well, he's going to be so low on price. He's going to be a really good target coming off because he's just absolutely copped some tags recently.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be in those top 5 trade targets over the next few weeks.
Really, really soon. You spoke about Oliver Hannaford. He was your pod last week.
It was my pod of the week, and he didn't do too bad. We just got to keep in mind, Sydney are literally 18th for points against when it comes to fantasy. So the fact he still managed to 43 with no goals, playing in a forward pocket, it's really good. He's had 2 shit matchups, and he's actually going to have another one again. But once he's past next week's matchup, he should be a really good pick.
He'll keep making money, and he's ticking over.
He still made close to 50k last week, even with that 43. So it's only a matter of time when he scores a 70, which I'm predicting, and he'll go up another 100 and a bit k.
Yeah, that's all you can really ask for. That's really it from that game, though. We'll move on to our next one.
Suns and Bombers.
Mate, that was actually a game and a half.
I didn't watch. I was getting ready for a wedding. So I completely missed all of this game.
I loved this game. It was so fun to watch. I hate Essendon with a passion, but I was cheering them on.
Yeah, it's good from them. Grandma was happy. But Zach Barrett, 151. Is he back?
He didn't get the CBAs as well. This is crazy to me. He has a license to do whatever he feels like. If he wants to start on the back line, he's starting there, running straight into the midfield.
I feel like any player in Essendon's best 22 has a license to do what they want.
But they wouldn't.
They are doing better now though. But I tell you what, I just with Zach Barrett, I know for a fact that he didn't play too much midfield. It was Parrish, it was Sardis, it was Caldwell, and they all turned up except for obviously Sardis, who's still a rookie. But with Zach Merritt, that was really nice, but Gold Coast are one of the easiest teams to score against. Merritt also loves playing the Suns. Yeah, it's like one of his favourite matchups. Yeah, he really enjoys it. So I'm not going to call this game an anomaly because Zach Merritt is an absolute jet, and I do believe that he will still average 100 as he always has every year. I just don't like the fact he plays for Essendon, and he doesn't like playing for Essendon. So I'm just going to steer clear personally, but well done if you have Zach Merritt for that 150.
And I can't wait for him to be playing at our team next year at the Hawks and winning a premiership.
The next Hawthorn leader.
Yeah, absolutely. Archie Roberts, 117. Keeps getting it done.
Yep.
Good matchup. 33 touches, 7 marks.
A better one next week.
Even better one next week. He's got the Pies next week. Medal game. Speaking about medal games, we all know what Darcy Parish does for a medal this bloke.
Why does he decide to show up in the 2 weeks we don't own him? Is this the coach's fault or is this Parish's fault? Because I feel like Parish has just played absolutely abysmal that first month of football. I know, obviously, with players that come off really bad injury history, they do take a little bit to build up. But I was losing my patience.
Oh, well, everyone,
a lot.
Everyone lost their patience.
I think everyone did. The fact that the week I traded him, he only scored a 50 against the Bulldogs. So, I mean, it was still a good trade out at that point. But since that Bulldogs thrashing, he's gone at 90.
But it's just every single person. He's got the 12% of people that still own him. Like, props to you for holding that, but
yeah,
that was like disgusting to see. To be
I
honest.
feel like if you held him, you can now just hold him until the mid-season
Yeah, you may
buys.
as well. Like, he's going to keep going. So
yeah, well done though.
Yeah, Trick Miller, the forward option, 103.
He was better than Petrarca as a pick.
Absolutely.
By 4 points. Tuke was great. He was really, really good. And he's still a great pick,
Yeah, he's
I
still
reckon.
an option, but you have to factor in Noah Anderson out. How much longer is he out
It's
for?
CBAs were a big spike for Tuke in this game. But also the fact that, they've got a really tough run coming up. I think it still applies to Tuke Miller as well. Out of the three of, even the four of Tuke Miller, Rao, Anderson, Petrarca, Tuke Miller I think is bottom of that list.
Yeah,
so,
I would still have
he is a really nice little pod there. Well done, 103 on that one.
Yeah.
Petrarca, not so happy. 97. He had 25 touches and 3 goals, which I actually predicted, by the way.
Yeah,
I went back and had a watch, but 97 from that.
But you predicted 120 score. He got what you
That's
said.
25 touches and
97.
3 goals should be 120. They've counted that wrong. I want to talk to the fantasy people. No, 97 is okay. Like, it's a forward, basically 100, but you got outscored by Phoenix Gothard, which doesn't feel too great
crazy
on paper. But 97, you take that. He has a few tough matchups, but at least he kicks goals. 3 goals again.
He's going to be he is a top 3 forward on that forward line,
Yeah.
especially with Brian Myers out now as well. There's another top 3 forward out. Like,
yeah, he becomes a very, very good option for a lot of people, I think. Okay, who else we got?
Is anyone else really relevant in
Not
any
really.
of these teams?
Sullivan Roby debuted. 2 goals for
yeah.
him. 64 is okay. Mid forward would probably be the only reason why you would pick him.
Yeah, if you are needing a forward, he is the guy.
He's
I'd be
if you don't like Hannaford, then I would probably go Sullivan Roby.
He's a lot cheaper than Hannaford at the moment,
Yeah.
so if you need that cash as well.
What would his job security be like though? I don't know what his role actually was. I'm assuming forward, but
It seems to be decent enough. Like, if you're playing for the Bombers, who else have the Bombers got coming in? Like,
yeah, that is true. That is true.
I'm
I think they're
telling
pretty
you,
set in what they're doing now.
80% of the Bombers team walked past me in an airport, I would not be able to tell you that it was the Bombers team. I wouldn't know who they are.
I would not have a clue either. Blackiston stands out like dog's balls though. That fucking top knot will stand out.
I
in
would
any crowd,
notice
mate.
Lockie Blackiston over
39 he scored. That is shit.
Yeah,
he had the same amount of posies as fucking Windsor last week. 7 touches. They're both the top 2 duds for the year. Let's just call it right now.
Yeah.
End the potty there.
Yeah, call it right.
Yeah, call it there. No, we're trading out Blackie this week, and thank God I don't have to speak his name again. Well, at least hope not.
Let's hope not. All right, let's go on to our boys, the Hawks, who survived a bit of a scare there, to be honest.
Those 2 poor boys at the top, eh?
Mate,
Horn Francis Butters.
Are you saying JH Shep is an option or not?
I'm interested. I am interested. I also think that he does have such a good impact. I'm almost thinking that Geelong might think that he'll have a better impact than Butters.
He might get tagged.
Potentially.
Could you see it after that week?
Potentially. He did have a spike in the CBAs for that Hawks game, so...
but his last 5 average, 104.
It is nice.
Average, 101. Like,
we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Though. He's done games like this. I'm pretty sure he versed someone last year, kicked 3 goals. I think it was Richmond. He kicked 3. No, not Richmond. That was a shit game.
Yeah, he was really bad.
There was one game he played anyway last year. He scored 120, kicked 3 goals, and then the week following he dropped to 60.
Yeah, just stunk it up.
And he has the capability to do that. Horn Francis is one to sook. If he cops any form of attention, or if he's just not getting near it, that break even at 64 is pretty much what you can expect from him. I think.
I know he does love an ice bath. So
he's
talking about an ice
he
bath.
froths an ice bath. I just have concerns over how much forward time that bloke plays because that just turns me away from him. 126 is really nice, and he's been averaging really well.
Yeah,
but
2 goals, 2 behinds as well.
I kind of want Josh Carr to come out in a presser and just be like, Horn Francis is a full-time midfielder.
He's a full-time mid.
But like a Petrarca type role,
Yeah.
that would be even nice enough. But just for now, I think he's going to play too much forward, and he's actually already had his green mile, if you want to call it that. He is only going to have tougher games moving forward.
Hawthorn aren't a Green Mile team, and both of these boys, Zach Butters as well, they weren't performing against these Green Mile teams, and then they've come in and play against the Hawks.
Hawthorn's team midfield, looks really good on paper. Like, I mean, Newcomb is really good. Connor Nash is obviously great. Ward has been really breaking out the last year or so. He's been doing really well. But when it comes to their restrictiveness in terms of allowing points to go through, they're actually one of the easier ones. The only time they become restrictive is when they actually put attention to somebody.
Fully clamp someone.
Yeah, which they didn't end up doing. I'm really surprised that they didn't try to put Connor Nash.
Yeah, because Zach Butters is their only midfielder.
Yeah, they're both hard nuts, and I reckon that would have been a great matchup for him. But they just didn't seem to go for it. I think Hawthorn's coaching staff just trust in the plan. Yeah. And they just want to roll out. Yeah, and then they only clamp the big dogs when they
really need to. Jack Ginnivan, my pod of the week, a bit disappointing. He scored 5 under his average, 79. He has hit 20 disposals every week. And one goal, one behind. It was just. I wanted more from him. It was good. It was fine.
Thumb up.
If he's in your team, Blair, whatever.
Still scored 79 more points than Myers this week. So
that is true.
Yeah,
so
you can hang your hat on that if you did a trade there. But yeah, pod of the week. I mean, not an awful outcome. It was a tough matchup for him too. So.
But it's just whatever. Connor McDonald was very disappointing, actually. 66.
Yeah, that's because I was talking him up last week as well. I was comparing it to Rochelle.
Tough matchup again. They could have been. It's literally 13 points difference.
Yeah,
it's 2 marks and 2 kicks.
It's not good, but a lot of big dogs for Hawthorn were disappointed in this one.
It was a
James Sicily
in general.
And Dylan Moore were both very disappointing in this one, and I think Moore gets rubbed out as well. So
I think he already has been rubbed out, and Sicily's been rubbed out too.
And Sicily as well. So there you go. So the 2 guys that stunk it up in this one, they're both actually suspended now.
Mate, how good is the Wizard though?
The Wizard is awesome. 5 goals.
His career best 5 goals. He's a freak, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm so happy with him. His kicking efficiency was so bad in his recruit year. He couldn't hit the back of a fucking shed. Nah. I'm telling you. Now he's awesome. He's easily our best small forward at the moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's one of the best in the whole comp. Absolute freak.
Yeah, top 5 for sure.
Good game, Adelaide and St Kilda.
1 point it came down to, and Wilkie did well again.
Yeah, again, this guy.
He was going to be my pod of the week, and I decided to do Hannaford instead, just to be unique even further. But 130, 31 disposals, 12 marks. Just awesome from Wilkie. That freeing up that Jack Silvani did, it was really evident because if you look at the scoring difference between Wilkie and Silvani, I think Wilkie scored the most and Silvani scored the least, I think. Or close to it.
He scored the least.
Yeah, he scored 21. So Jack Silvani is now doing those stinky scores with his lockdown rolls, and Wilkie's just basically let free to do whatever he wants, which I tell you what, if you've gone there as a pod, it's still not too late. I still think he's very cheap for what he's doing at the moment. He's actually the top 5 averaging player at the moment.
He's an absolute freak, this guy. Jack Sinclair, 117. Good, really good. You copped that, especially after his kind of disappointing week the week before.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to speak about this man, Rowan Marshall, though. TDK.
Is he an option?
It seems like it's a 1 week play. TDK is only got soreness. I've heard they don't think he's going to get up.
He's in doubt.
He's in doubt, but if TDK plays the week after, you can't touch Marshall.
Usually, if they say in doubt, it usually just means the 1.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a huge fan of. However, my top 5 trade-ins, he does feature.
But if TDK is genuinely injured, he's out for a month.
You jump on that.
You have to jump on Marshall.
100%.
Change your trade and jump on him for that month. He is the highest averaging ruck in the game if he's solo.
I will say this too, though. If you were one of those ones that jumped on Bailey J. Williams last week, then I reckon even just as a 1 week play, just swapping him to Rowan Marshall, that would be a really nice little upgrade there, and he'll make you a good 100k in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Even in the 1 week, he's going to make close to 100k. He is going to flog the next ruck they've got.
Yeah, which is the guy you traded him out for.
Yeah.
Baslenka. Williams, that is.
Yeah, the Timu Baslenka. Sam Flanders, 99. Good. You're not trading that guy out. Don't even consider it.
He's just going to be locked there the rest of the year. Don't overthink it. Nasai, 93. Now, he had 2 really quiet middle quarters. So he had 35 in both the first and last quarters, and then kind of just went missing in the other 2.
Yeah, it's a little bit of this and that, really.
Yeah, a little bit of this and that. They tried putting Berry on him.
Yeah, I think that he's going to have someone on him every single week, though.
He will, and he will learn to break that. I was looking at him as an option for even this week.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking for the future, if he's still just having the capability of only doing 90s, it's almost like Wilkie's a better option now.
Which is the weirdest thing you would ever think. Like, people were considering starting this guy at the start of the year. People did.
He was like my number one first pick player, aside from Goulden.
Yeah.
He's been a little disappointing. The fact that he was able to score 2 quarters of 35s is great, and the quarters that he did show up, he looked awesome.
Yeah, he did look
as he usually does.
Yeah.
But yeah, West Coast this week, I think he will repay the faith for owners. And drop a 130 minimum. So just keep a lookout for that one.
The Eagles don't have any taggers, do they? They're not tagging anyone.
They use Brady Hoff sometimes, but he's not been great. The other use they had was Dev Robb, and he's done his ACL now.
100%. That's a good call from you.
Marcus Windhager's finally scoring something, 91.
91.
Just thought I'd mention that for anyone that owned him. That would have been a disappointing own. I had him as a pod last year. He got me a 133 against Richmond. That was really nice. I do rate him as a player, but no, I wouldn't touch that.
Because you know he's going to tag again next week.
You'll never know. Cookie
Monster.
80.
We needed that from him. Thanks for the rocket, Drewy. We actually... I was desperate for that dude because he was my F5.
He was in my Spud farm last week, and he has well and truly rocketed himself into a good solid F5 for at least a good few weeks until he caps out and we can get rid of him a few weeks later.
Rankin 70, Joshua Shelley 67. These two really disappointing. Rankin 1 goal 3 though. You switch that around in the mid 80s.
I outlined this last week. We do not touch Rankin. I just think Rankin is still the number one tag target, regardless of how good Rochelle is doing. And I think that they just have the capability to switch to whichever one is just playing better at the time. Because they're pretty much like-for-like players, aren't they?
Almost the exact same.
Yeah, very similar play style.
Jordan Dawson being out wouldn't have helped them because St Kilda would have
just more attention
on them straight away.
And hopefully Dawson's back this week.
I actually need him back desperately because then I have to change my trades again.
Because that would mean I would have issues with Bont, Butters, and Dawson.
Same with me, and then I've got Brian Myers as well.
Yeah, which is
I had to hold, and it looks like he's done his ACL, so he's going to be out.
That was a bizarre one because that was a delayed diagnosis. They were just saying, just soreness in the knee. And it didn't seem that great, but it was a full-on ACL tear and he was playing on it.
He played on an ACL tear and he scored an 85 and a 60, which I can't believe, to be honest.
Yeah, playing with one knee, that's pretty impressive.
Unreal.
But yeah, definitely got to jump off that now, I think. I think we have confirmation that he's just done for the year.
If not, he's done for multiple weeks anyway. Lockie McAndrew, 65. He got hit. Tough matchup. Tom DeConning and Rowan Marshall, two massive rocks.
Just little sneak peek. He's back to the bench for me this week. I've had him on field for an 85, which is great, and then this dual ruck set up with Tom DeConing and Rowan Marshall has held him to 65. It will not get any easier next week. He has Brisbane, which Max Gawn couldn't even score above 95 against, which is actually his only score under 100 this year. And that was only with Sam Draper solo. So now they're going to get Darcy Fort back on top, and they're going to double team McAndrew.
Yeah.
There is a very small chance, just a tiny one, that Riley O'Brien comes back and helps.
Well, I'm thinking the same thing.
Oh, am I crazy to think that?
Nah, not at all.
Okay. Because that's all I thought about all week, is just they did it. I know, obviously, Riley O'Brien sucks in that, right? He gave up basically the entire game against Freo, which is not ideal for him. But this dual ruck setup is serious. They restricted Gawn so much.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah, Gawn barely had any hit-outs in that one.
Yeah, he actually got...
Yeah, one of his lower scores. So I think McAndrew is... not doomed, but I think we're going to be looking to trade him, if not this week, next week.
In the next few weeks anyway, his BE is going to drop.
He is going to drop. Just, if you guys can get Grundy, then I would highly suggest doing that with McAndrew. Yeah, but we'll get into trades a little bit later.
We'll get into them very soon. That's really it from that game, though, especially the important players. Let's move on to our final 3 games. We've got North and Richmond in this one. Harry Sheasel, 136.
Your captain. No.
VC didn't take it because of this guy. I'm not going to let him forget it either. He also scored 1 goal, 3 behind. He could have even been a bigger score. That
would have been monstrous.
145 on 50 areas.
He only had I think it was 17 touches at the half, which,
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously still great, but it did seem like he was just going for his low 100,
Yeah,
like a 110.
110, whatever.
I mean, you would take that as a VC, to be fair. I did not
Yeah, if it
think
was
Gorn
overall.
was going to do that bad. I did not think Dinner Plate Gorn would come out.
No, I actually thought he'd be good.
But Harry Sheasel, if you had the VC on him and you took it, well done. Well done. That's fantastic.
Have you heard much about Cam Zerha recently?
Not interested.
You're not interested?
Not interested,
You're not
nah.
even going to touch it?
I think this is on shaky ground. I actually have some sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I have some sauce. He's just going to go straight back to the forward line next week.
What type of sauce is it? Is it like good tomato sauce?
It's good tomato sauce.
Oh, okay.
It's good tomato sauce.
You're hearing he's going back to the forward line?
It is good tomato sauce. You heard it here first. He returns back to the forward line this week.
Alright, steer clear of Cam Zerha. We'll come back to this next week. We'll
He's
see
still...
how it comes through.
Actually... with the little asterisk, if you have Bailey J. Williams, he is a perfect substitute. It's basically a sideways swap, isn't
absolutely.
it? There you go, jump on the guy with a better break even.
Yeah, this is the cash game again.
Yeah,
basically.
play the cash game until you get Rowan Marshall for 1 week. Colby 90, you happy with that?
Nah, I'm taking a 90 every day of the week, but mate, he's playing forward now. Like, are you kidding
That's
me?
just his role. And the whole reason why I didn't pick Colby at the start of this year was just purely the fact that, same with Sheasel, they just didn't know what they're going to do with him. They just wanted to develop his role and make him a better midfielder and build up his tank and that. I get it, and that's why he was pushing out on a wing and getting his kilometres up. But yeah, with Colby, I don't like how he's now favoured as the forward rather than the back.
Which is where he should be. He should just be dominating in the back line.
I feel like Luke Parker has a better role. He didn't score better. He scored 1 point less, actually. But he seems to have that bona fide backman role.
It's just more consistent overall.
It's like it's a revival of his career almost with Parker. 89 for him, 26 touches, and he had 6 marks as well. If he racked those up, he probably would have ticked over 100 as well.
Easily. Anything else from this game?
Blamires, I'm happy I fielded him over Grill. I was worrying at half time though. Blamires was on 13 at half time, and I was shitting bricks. I went, oh no, I've copped Bonts 28, and now I'm going to cop what could potentially be another 28. 72 from him. The fact that he was able to score nearly 60 points in that second half, that's really just enough for me to keep him at D6 for now. At least until next week.
Yeah. The rookie of the week, I would almost say the cheapest rookie of the week.
I'd say second but I'd say for the cash staff, definitely number 1. Patrick Reshko, 65. Richmond have been smashed with injuries now.
Yeah, he's locked into that team.
Throw away the key. I'm personally going to look at one more for him. He versed North, and I know they're restrictive, but he's a winger. And he's hot and cold. Yeah, I need to see cold.
And that Tigers wing will go cold in some. Yeah,
when they verse amazing teams, like Hawthorn, then he may be in trouble. Yeah. But also maybe not. He might be a great player. He did get a lot of talk up.
They talked about highly for his draft year as well. So, like, I feel like he'll be. I say 50 to 60 guy. You're taking it this time.
I think he'll be a 50 guy and a good little cash generator until the mid-season
Take it this time. Sam Grill, 57.
Yeah, whatever. He's just going to sit on my bench at 9, I think.
So. 9, yeah. If you can get rid of him, get rid of him. It's whatever.
Actually, no. I disagree.
You reckon hold him?
Sam Banks is out. And I think that is going to increase his ball usage. I actually think with this Melbourne matchup that he has this week, I'm almost tempted to field him over Angus Anderson. I think he is going to pop at a minimum a 70, if not an 80. So just keep a lookout. I think he's going to fall straight into the lap of Sam Banks' old role.
Oh, right. That's a good call. I forgot Sam Banks was injured. Really
he got injured early. He scored a 4, the poor bugger.
Yeah.
Taranto got concussed.
Yeah, another Richmond injury, mate. This team...
Aya was kissed on that one because he fell under the 50% rule and she managed to get Blamires, I'm pretty sure. So
that's a big win.
That's a huge win.
Also, you don't want that from anyone.
There you go. Sam Banks got 1.
Who's this Liam Fawcett guy?
Liam Fawcett played a full game and scored 0.
He scored a 0.
That is incredible. That is incredible. Well, he's a key forward for the Tigers. Like, it's not going to be very popular. But yeah, if you went there instead of Hannaford, you should probably just listen to this podcast and listen to the best ins. Let's go through this game. Poor Brisbane.
Oh, mate. Brisbane,
are they on the down?
I don't know. Like,
they lost to Melbourne.
I hope not, but
It wasn't the MCG, and
Yeah.
Melbourne are not as bad as we might have originally thought.
No.
I think Stephen King's been a great change-up for them.
He's been really needed. Really low-scoring fantasy game overall.
There really isn't much to talk about
No,
except maybe
like,
your boy.
My boy Will Ashcroft, 100. I'm copping that after his 67 last week after being tagged. He was in the top 4 highest scoring. He's 5 points less off the top.
He's fine,
Yeah.
and like I said, it was a low-scoring fantasy game. He will have some ceiling scores.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully those 60s are a thing of the past. Hopefully Lockie
tags
Neal
are
starts
gone.
copping
Yeah.
those tags. Let's talk about your captain, your
Maxi
roll into
Gawn,
captain.
93. He just got.
Dinner plates is back.
Yeah, he just got.
He's had
on the
zero.
ground.
He's had 1 mark in 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is just
That's
shocking.
unlike
gone
Gawn.
at all.
Gawn, I'm pretty sure, had 11 marks in the first game of
Yeah,
the
he
year.
did.
So having 1 over the course of 2 weeks, it'll be really disappointing for those guys that jumped on over Grundy at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is the week Gawn repays the faith, okay? I know I said that last week with Brisbane, but I mean it this time. Richmond is Max Gawn's favourite team, and he was actually self-aware that he took no marks. He actually said it in a presser post-game, so he was aware he had the dinner plates out. He will improve them.
No Richmond ruck, no Toby Nankervis.
Samson Ryan, second best ruck behind Blackiston. He's going to give him a bath.
He's going to get beat up. Jack Steele, 87. Disappointing.
Tough
but
matchup.
really tough matchup.
And he's been dominating before this. Like, I'm happy with that.
The first opening round score, or was it round 1 score, sorry, and this one only been his 2 blunders for the year. And an 87 as a blunder, you'd cop that
It's
as a...
fine.
Yeah.
20 touches. He still had 6 tackles, so he tries hard.
Yeah, absolutely. He's never going to stop trying.
Josh Dunkley's going to be very cheap as well.
Oh, really, really cheap.
Yeah, and same with his other teammate who is coming off that injury in Hugh McCluggage.
Hugh McCluggage is going to be
He
dirt cheap.
stunk it up this one.
In no time.
Return game, was it?
Yeah,
was that his first game? Or was that his second?
I think it might have been his second game.
Yeah, disappointing from him. I don't know if he copped attention from Tolstrup. I wasn't paying huge attention
No,
to this
I
one.
didn't even realise who Tholstrup was tagged.
I saw Tolstrup take a kick out.
I don't think he was tagged. He had 26 disposals. I didn't watch this game either.
Wow. Do you think maybe he had 26 because he might have been marked up on one of Lockie Neal or Dunkley maybe?
Well, potentially, but...
It's hard to say when we weren't having full eye on this game,
Yeah.
but Hugh McCluggage anyway is going to be very, very cheap. I'm pretty sure he scored that 66 and he has like a 180 break even.
already.
So during that mid-season bye period, I reckon after Brisbane's bye, you could launch on
Jump
that.
on that guy straight
But if he
away.
bottoms out earlier, then even better.
Yeah, my boy Caleb Windsor,
He goes. He's got to go.
cut that from your team right now.
Yeah.
He is a parasite.
Disgusting.
He's got to leave.
Sam Draper is not the fantasy scorer that we thought in the preseason
you
either.
had him in your preseason team.
Yeah, I had him in there just because he was cheap and there was a lot of uncertainty around how the rucks would be affected by the new rules. And I just thought with Sam Draper's ability to tap it out and kick goals and do cool shit, even from the Bombers, I think he was going to be a good pick. Obviously not though. They still love Darcy Ford, so he will not be a solo ruck. So even with that, I don't think he would score well anyway.
Hopefully Max Heath is dropped for next week.
If anything, he just hindered Max Gawn's ability to do things. So more of a liability than a benefit.
Okay, let's move into the last game of the week.
And this is where my rank skyrocketed. 3 of my top scorers were in the top scorers. Tom McCarthy, 113. That's his first ton of the year. I waited a very long time.
Yep.
6 weeks later, he's finally had it. And same with Murphy Reid with his 106.
And no goals, 2 behind.
He kicked 2 behind, so that could have been bigger.
Yeah.
Which is great from Murph. I did say in the last pod, but he is a great pick.
He's a gun.
And I reckon if you had the choice between him and Rochelle and some of those other cheaper forwards, I reckon he's the one to go this week. Just because you're riding the break even at least.
Get the break-even game for
whereas
that
Rochelle's coming off a 0 point last quarter.
Yeah.
You could probably wait on him now.
Caleb Sarong, 88. Disappointing for me again. He's had some pop scores. He did really well. And
Sarong does this
2
though.
weeks in a row, just dropping.
Handball happy,
Yeah.
doesn't get a shit ton of tackles. He usually just gets a handball receive. 88 is all he had. And he had a goal for that as well.
The 24 disposals, like.
That's really concerning. Are you going to shift him at some stage?
Oh,
or do you feel like...
hopefully at some point I will, but at the moment I'm just trying to get rid of even worse people.
Yeah,
in
well,
this team.
speaking of worse people, I'm pretty sure Andrew Brayshaw had an awful game in this one. I'm pretty sure I saw like a 30 or something from him.
64.
Oh, he recovered then. So Brayshaw at 3/4 time, I believe, was on sub 30. So he would have had a massive last quarter to save himself. He scored a 60, and he would have been disappointing for anyone that was looking at him as a pod. He should have worked. He had a great early run too, so
and
really unlucky.
Against the Eagles, Milan Murdoch, 86.
He was my cover for Dawson
this
week.
This guy's a superstar, eh? This
guy's
guy's
awesome.
a genuine jet.
Those SSP signings are just
They
the next
know what
big
they're
thing.
doing.
Yeah,
He's going to be your M7, M8.
He is my
Until
M7, and he will sit there for a lot of this year,
Yeah.
at least till the buys when we can upgrade.
I love it. Josh Lindsay, 62.
Yeah,
Just keep riding it.
He's not hurting me.
No.
I traded him ages ago. He's not hurting me. He's just averaging like a flat 60, which is okay and good for those that have him. But he's not really hurting me.
No.
Bailey J. Williams.
This guy.
I called him Trap of the Week last
that
week.
was an unreal call from you.
44.
It was a tough matchup as well. He did get double teamed. Luke Jackson and Mason Cox.
So just keep in mind, he had 13 touches, so matched Mason Cox in the hit-out department and still only scored 44.
Yeah.
So he only had 31 fantasy points outside of ruck scoring, which is the problem with picking players like him and Madden.
Yeah,
I know Madden scored better, but it's still not great from him.
Absolutely. I love it. All right, Andrew, can you get into our captains for me?
All right, here we go. So let's make up for the captain picks. We're going to start with the very, very top. I'm going to go Nick Dacos. Versing the Bombers, it's Anzac Day clash. He is going to be wanting that Anzac Day medal. You could almost count him in for 40 possessions, so long as he doesn't get tagged. Essendon do not have anyone to tag. I think he'll be fine, and probably the number one scorer this week. So he gets my number one captain pick. Max Gawn against Richmond is my number two captain pick. He loves versing Richmond. In his last 3 games, he has scored over 135 in the last 2. He has been great, and you want to keep in mind as well, when he had those games against Richmond, it wasn't against the ruck he's going up against now. He was actually up against Toby Nankervis, who was the main ruck for Richmond, and now he's going to go up against Samson Ryan. He will have an absolute day, and he will take 10 marks. Number 3 is Brodie Grundy versing the Western Bulldogs, a ruckless Western Bulldogs. Tim English has not returned from injury as of yet. There actually isn't even a timeline on poor Timmy. So Brodie Grundy against the Bulldogs with a break even of 60 and coming off a last 3 average of over 130. He is going to have a absolute monster, and he will be my VC for this week. Bailey Smith will be number 4 against Port Adelaide. The only reason he isn't in the top 3 this week, as if it matters for Baz, but he's versing Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Bailey Smith is number 4 captain against Port Adelaide. I rate it. I'm happy with that. And number 5 is Nasiah Wangani Malira against West Coast. I think he's had a couple of 90s now, and I think he is due for a massive one against the tagless West Coast.
Love it. I think he's going to be excellent. And what are you thinking for your captain options this week, Drewy?
So, I am going to make up for my blunder last week with you, and I am going to do what I didn't last week, and that is Captain Gawn with the VC on Grundy Thursday night. So
double rucks.
Double ruck captain.
I like it. The 2 of the best players in the comp, you can't really go past it, can you?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get into our top 3 rookie target for the week. So,
who's your captains this week?
I haven't actually looked at my captains yet, so...
Okay, alright, rain check on that.
I'm going to be captaining Gawn at the moment, I can guarantee you that. I'm kind of waiting to see, for my trades, to see who else is out on my team, because I've got Jordan Dawson, waiting for him to come back in or not. Brian Myers, I've got to trade out.
There's just a lot of buts in your team.
Archie Roberts is going to be my...
He's going to be captain?
My captain, yep.
Okay.
Gawn VC rolling into Archie Roberts.
I really like it.
He's got the Collingwood matchup.
This is the matchup we've all been waiting for.
I need a 120 from Gawn.
It is going to be a hard watch, but I'll tell you what, our uniques against each other this week is going to be really Archie Roberts and Nick Dacos.
Yeah, this is going to
both competing for that medal.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what, it could go either way.
Andrew, I need a line from you.
You know how good I am with these.
For Maxi Gawn. He's my VC rolling into Archie Roberts.
Well, at least you don't get to look at half a score. You get to look at a whole score.
I get a whole game from this game.
With Maxi, rolling into Roberts, I'd go 115.
115? You'd
I'd
take
go
a
115. I'd taken that, especially after last week.
After last week's fucking mishap for me, I am taking a 115 from Gorn.
That's fine. He will repay your faith.
Yeah,
I am following you on Gorn, and he will be really good. But Grundy VC on the Thursday night is going to be a very fun watch as well.
Absolutely, it's going to be. Okay, let's get into our rookie targets for the week. So number 1, Angus Anderson. This is the last week you can jump on him. His BE is -30. Get on that. Number 2 is Patrick Reshko. He's going to be locked into that Richmond team for the rest of the year. Jump on that. I'm jumping on him next week. I want to see one more game from him.
Me too. Just wings are hot and cold, but
absolutely,
he is still a great cash play.
And Milan Murdoch is rounding out our top 3. He is getting really expensive, but
for good reason.
He's a superstar.
Lowest score of 86.
Which is the game that he's had after having 3 weeks off, was it? Or maybe even 4
3 weeks with a hemi.
Yeah.
Just incredible. And he's going to be my M7 for a while, I reckon.
He's a gun. Andrew, can you jump into our rookies to trade out this week?
All right. Now, I would put Blackston at number 1, but I'm already doing it. And we did it last week, so let's choose someone different. Leo Lombard can sit there at number 1. Break even of 48. He hasn't even scored 48 in a month, so he's not even going to hit his break even. He's losing money now, and he's actually going to be... he's losing cash very quickly. So probably the number 1 priority in terms of rookie trade outs. Jagger Smith is number 2. I think he's probably the second to go. He's going to play mainly forward, and I don't think that's going to change. I think they're going to look at bringing Hewitt and Cooper Lord potentially back in, and if not Lord, definitely Hewitt.
Yeah.
And who knows, even Blake Acres and stuff making a shift in that midfield.
And so there are options in that midfield line to actually get some cheaper, better rookies who's going to be making more cash.
There's a squeeze. I'm not trading him this week, but I'll be looking to do so in a couple of weeks' time. Jack Watkins is number 3. If you haven't jumped off that already, definitely do so. His break even's 48 and he isn't even selected.
Yeah.
So reason he's number 3 is because he should be the lowest owned out of the 3. So if you haven't got rid of Jack Watkins, do so now.
And he has no potential to bleed cash either because he's not going to get selected anyway.
Exactly.
All right, Andrew, let's get into your top 5 trade target for the week.
This is exciting. I'm really excited for these because my top 5 trading targets include 3 Saints.
Let's hit it. Let's hear these.
All right, so number 1 is going to be the same trade-in target as last week. Angus Anderson. His break-even is -30. He is just number 1 priority as a trade-in, if that's what you're doing, whether it's downgrade, sideways, from a rookie or whatever it is, you must get Angry Anderson in. At number 2, we have Callum Wilkie.
Massive call.
I've put him there over the other 2 Sainters that I'll mention in a second, just purely because he is the 5th highest averaging AFL fantasy player for the year, and he's like 4% owned.
Love it.
That is just huge. Number 3 is Nick Newman. If you are on a bit of a budget this week and you weren't as lucky to get him like Gooch did last week, Nick Newman is your man. He managed 80 points and a half and managed a ton. And he has a fairly nice run coming up. I think Nick Newman is value, and he's basically the same price as what he was when we were registered at the start of the year. So definitely go there. 4 is Nasiah Wangani Malira. I think again, 130 I reckon he gets. He'll have a huge one. No tag coming, so should be great. Number 5, I've put Rowan Marshall.
I like it,
now,
especially if TDK's out.
I've put this because I know a lot of people that would have jumped on Bailey J. Williams, or they would have a failing or maxing out F6 option there that just isn't really cutting the mustard. I know a lot of people are running with Lombard due to necessity.
Yeah.
So I think Rowan Marshall is definitely cheap enough for even a 1 week play to get him. He just has the easiest matchup of his life, and last year he versed West Coast, he scored 158.
Love it.
So watch out.
All right, let's get into our pods of the week. Last week, Andrew won with his Hannaford pick. He scored 3 less than his price.
It was like a 2-point difference.
And Jack Ginnivan scored 5 less than what he was priced at. So Dewey beat me again this week.
We're really nailing it on the head with these pods, aren't we?
We're doing really well at the moment.
Yeah.
My pod of the week is Nick Newman.
Ooh.
Jump on him. So he is about 5% owned at the moment. You got to jump on him. He is going to make money. I think he's going to be averaging mid-90s for the rest of the year.
He is a great player, and he always has been, and he's actually been the relevant fantasy scorer for 5 years prior to his ACL rupture. So I highly agree. I think he's an underpriced premium, if you will. He will definitely be the best backman for Carlton for the rest of the year, 100%. By a mile.
And I want to hear yours, Julie. I like this one a lot.
Okay, you boys ready? So, at 0.8% ownership, probably the lowest ownership pod that I'll probably be presenting the entire year, we have Adam Treloar. Adam Treloar is sitting at 946,000. He is just coming off 41 disposals in the VFL. He is ready to go. He will fall straight into that Western Bulldogs midfield, which is depleted. Soon to be returned by a couple over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
However, he is not going to be questioned in terms of forwards and all that kind of stuff. He's ain't going to play forward. Riley Sanders and Fraser are doing that shit. He will just slot straight into the guts. And I predict a 95 plus from Adam Treloar this week.
I like it. I think he'll be really good as well, especially if the Bont is out this week. He is going to carve up.
It might just be a sideways.
Yeah.
Bont to Treloar. Let's just lock it in now.
In the forward line as well. Get a forward option. I like it. I'm keen to see where it goes.
That's the other thing. He is a forward, and that is why he is valued. You just got to remember, a few years ago, he was the highest averaging midfielder.
I think it was 2 years ago.
2024. It's not even like before COVID year or anything crazy. This is 2 years ago. Yeah, it's 2024. So he's definitely in relevancy. The poor bastard just has calves built like tissue paper. He will improve. High risk, very high reward.
Yeah.
I love him as my pod this week.
I really like it as well. Really interesting. Okay, I'm going to hit you with your top 5 trade out targets for the week. Number 1, Brian Myers. Just heard about the ACL injury. He's going to be out for probably the rest of the year. You got to jump off that. Number 2, Caleb Windsor. He is bleeding cash. He's a parasite. Jump off that as quickly as you can. Another parasite.
He's rotting your team.
Another parasite is number 3, Lockie Blackiston. He's bleeding cash. Jump off that dude as quickly as you can. Number 4, Dev Rob. If you didn't have the luxury to jump off him last week, you need to do it this week.
Desperately.
Hopefully there are some rookies that come through this week that are good for you to jump on, so you can do a downgrade upgrade.
Could be a sideways.
Sideways. Oh, that is so true. And then number 5, Jack Watkins. He's not being picked. He's at the bottom of the list because he is not bleeding cash with Dev Rob.
This is the final week we are mentioning Jack Watkins. Yeah. By next week, everyone should be off Jack Watkins.
Hopefully me as well, is what I'm telling
you. Hopefully. We'll wait and see.
Okay, let's hit our fans with our trade. Julie, you're going to go first. Who are you trading out and trading in this week?
Guys, I'm ranked 1,001st, which means I need to get a little bit aggressive this week. I'm trading out Zach Butters. Zach Butters is gone, and so is Lockie Blackiston finally. And it feels so good because I will be getting in Angry Anderson and Brody Grundy.
The pig Grundy. How much is that leaving you with in the
kitty? It'll be leaving 59k. Now, here's the thing, guys. I owned Butters last year when he was a pod. He was 4% owned. I've owned him for both Oisin Mullin tags. He has scored me a 46 and a 34, and I just caught Bont's 28 last week. I am not letting another Mullin tag fuck my year up. See you later, Butters. Couldn't even do a ton run during that nice green run. He is only going to have tougher matchups from here. So for me to chase that top 500, he's probably going to go this week.
What are you going to do if JHF gets tagged and Butters gets let off the chain?
I think it'll be softened by the fact that I'm getting Lockie Blackiston to Grundy.
Yeah.
I think that just makes me happy anyway. And here's the thing, it moves McAndrew to my bench for the second time this year.
Yeah, which is crazy.
But here's the thing, he's going to cap out. And when he does, that's just a 750k down to basement. And I can flick 2 rookies to whoever I want. And that's going to feel really nice to do in a few weeks.
I like it. I'll hit you with my trade outs and trades in this week. So I'm trading out Brian Myers and finally getting rid of Caleb Windsor. So I need to bring another a top 6 forward. So I'm bringing in Christian Petrarca this week, even though he's got a tough matchup.
You'll feel good for it, trust me.
Absolutely, especially in the long run. And then I'm bringing in Angus Anderson, which leaves me with 290k next week in the kitty litter. I can't do much else. I can't miss out on Anderson this week, and there's no point in me holding more than $300,000 for the next week.
No, that's true.
I've got so many fattened rookies that I need to be using.
Well, hopefully you can go shopping with that $290,000.
Yeah, I'm hoping
as
well.
Week.
But that means that I'm holding Jack Watkins, Dev Rob this week, and it means Leo Lombard is my F7. It also means that Jordan Dawson needs to play. Otherwise, I'm going to have to hold Windsor or hold Dawson again for another week and hope he plays the week after.
So the wheels are back on, but you got a spare on there, and it's
you're
like barely hanging on.
I've got a spare that can't go more than 50 kilometers an hour at this point. Like they are falling off. But
there's no lug nuts on it. It's just rolling around on its axis.
It's just copping bullets, but that's just part of the game of life.
It'll improve, and guys, you got to remember, not all hope is lost.
No,
okay, there are some great coaches that are doing awful, and I'm not going to mention who, but it will only get better each week. We are only a quarter of the way through the season.
25%, and it seems like this is probably the highest roller coaster season I've ever had. Like some of the highs at the start of the year I had were great, and now I am
anything can happen. Like Blackiston outscored Bont this week, for example.
Yeah, like
happens.
People would have had Bont as their C and would have dropped down.
Oh, poor Niam.
Sure.
Poor Niam.
Niam. Shout out to Niam.
Shout out to
Niam. C, copying a 56
Hope he's okay.
Captain. Yeah, prayers up.
Prayers up. All right, what do you say we finish off?
Let's finish this one. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And before we finish off, if you have any ideas for our punishment for next week for the green vest, we did the Calvin shirt. That was just our idea, something nice and easy to do.
Just wanted something nice and tame because we knew Gooch was going to lose this week, so just wanted to be nice to him. We're going to start ramping things up.
Yeah, we'll start ramping things up. It was a pretty tough week for me, but that's just part of the game. Whatever.
We're going to be going live for a Q&A on Thursday as well. We're just going to, I don't know, FaceTime or some shit and just ask answer some questions. I know at least a good 10 or so have come through already.
I love it. If you have any more questions, put them down in the comments.
Whatever your trades are, let us know. We want to know about them and help you out.
Find us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll be uploading on there this week. Any questions in any comment section, we'll be answering them on Thursday, so make sure you get that done.
I think we can finish it there.
Thank you for listening, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
See you guys on Thursday.